Hello and welcome to News Flash on PowerTV. I'm Ellen Saura. On our breaking news today, Zimbabwe police released a press statement on arrest of 3 suspects of armed robbery involving How Mines 11.6 kg of gold and firearms at Douglasdale, Bulawayo. The Zimbabwe Republic Police confirms the arrest of Anthony Moyo, 39, Wilson Mutanda, 24, and Ernest Mutanda, 30, in connection with an armed robbery case which occurred on 4th of October 2022 at the 21-kilometer peg along Bulawayo, How Mine Road, Douglasdale, Bulawayo, where 11.6 kgs of gold on transit from How Mine to Fidelity Printers, Bulawayo, and 4 firearms were stolen. On 4th of October 2022, police received the information that some of the stolen items were abandoned at a house under construction along Foley Road, West Samaton, Bulawayo. Detectives reacted to report and recovered car keys, 3x9mm spent cartridge, a black glove, a 303 refill loaded with 8 live rods and 3 empty metal boxes. Further investigation by police established that the South African registered Nissan NP300 single cab vehicle registered number HR30XJGP, which was abandoned by the suspect at the scene, belongs to Nciba Ngoselati, also known as Tondera Ivumbono, and was at times being driven by Anthony Moyo. Police arrested Anthony Moyo, who implicated Wilson Mutanda and Ernest Mutanda, who were subsequently arrested. Ernest Mutanda was arrested in Beitbridge while attempting to flee to South Africa. Now on local news. 5 Bulawayo families have been left stranded after a block of flats was cutted by fire this Tuesday. The fire broke out at around 5 p.m. at Ringwood Flats along 2nd Avenue and George Slundika Street. According to the eyewitness, the fire started in one of the apartments on the 3rd floor before spreading to the entire wing. 5 families were left stranded after their property was razed down to ashes. I lost all my properties and papers. Another said, "What happened is very painful. We are happy no one was injured, but it is very sad we lost all our properties. As it is, we are stranded. Last night I had to spend the night at my friend's place," another added. Bulawayo Acting Chief Officer Mr. Lyons Piri said the fire is suspected to have been caused by children who were playing with matchsticks. By the time the firefighters arrived at the scene, the fire had already spread to the entire building. Now on court updates in our local news, Zimbabwe. 2 opposition MPs to spend more time in detention after a magistrate denied them bail in a case which has attracted public attention and criticism. Job Sikala and Godfrey Stolle have been in pre-trial detention since June, when they were arrested and charged with insisting people to commit public violence. On Wednesday, the magistrate rejected the latest bail application in which the defense had argued changed circumstances, including a public petition with more than 48,000 signatures to President Emmerson Mnangagwa calling for their release. The defense also urged that the continued detention was more political than legal, echoing concerns expressed by groups such as Amnesty International that it was unjust. The court ruled on Wednesday that public opinion was not faked and that it would not be swayed by it or dragged into political issues. Now on regional news. Gunmen have freed 23 captives they abducted on a moving train in northern Nigeria's Kaduna state in March. The passengers are the last bunch of more than 50 people kidnapped in the infamous accident on their way from Abuja. A statement from an aide to Nigeria's military chief said they were released around 600 time on our local African time. The Nigeria government blamed. Now in international news. Some of the world's top oil-producing countries have agreed to cut the amount they export in a decision expected to raise petrol prices around the world. Members of OPEC Plus, a group that includes Saudi Arabia and Russia, said they would slash production by 2 million barrels per day. The group said it wanted to stabilize prices, which have been falling in recent months as the world economy slows. But the decision raised fears that prices for motorists will climb. Expectations that countries were planning to plump less had already published oil prices higher this week. The price of barrel of Brent crude jumped another almost 2% to more than $93 a barrel on Wednesday. Still in international news in Russia, the U.S.'s decision to send more military to Ukraine increased the danger of direct military clash between Russia and West, Moscow has warned. Russia's ambassador to the U.S., Anatoly Anton, said it was an immediate threat to Moscow, describing the USA as a participant of the conflict. Earlier, the USA announced another $625 million in military aid to Ukraine. Advanced USA weaponry has been credited with helping Ukraine building momentum against occupying Russia forces. Ukraine troops have made significant advances in the country's northern east and southeast in recent weeks. Now in sports news. Zimbabwe's Premier Cricket umpire Langton Rusere has been selected to officiate at the upcoming T20 World Cup set to start in Australia on the 16th of this month. Rusere will be officiating in his second World Cup of the year, having stood in the Women's World Cup in New Zealand earlier in the year, where he took charge of 5 matches as well as acting as reserve umpire for the final, which was won by Australia. The T20 World Cup will, however, be the first time that Rusere has stood in a senior men's World Cup, where he will be part of the 16 umpires who will take charge of the tournament. Chief referee of the elite panel of match referees, Ranjani Madugal, is part of quartet of former international cricketers who make up the match referees for the 8th edition of the T20 World Cup. And it's a wrap on PowerTV News Flash. I'm Ellen Saura. Good day. Bye-bye.